Okay, everybody, we are back. We are here live. I know we just wrapped up the show, our daily show, the High Noon Rant, 12 to 2 every day. Had a bunch of stuff planned this afternoon. I had a couple of radio hits. We were talking about that. I was going to be on with James Parker on WBAP, and then I had another one. A friend of mine was doing a podcast interview, but I got bumped. Everything's been bumped. Why? Because we've got some stuff happening. Breaking news. Like, follow, subscribe if you listen to the rant every day at 12 p.m. High Noon Rant is just me. It's a 2-hour stream of consciousness telling you everything you need to know about the day. Hot breaking news, headlines, whatever it is. We don't do politics. We don't get into any of the nonsense. This is a different kind of hot talk radio, non-divisive, just everything else. We also cover live breaking news, and that's what we have now. So let's get you caught up.
Northwest corner of Pershing and Maine. If you could broadcast that, please. Any missing children or parents looking for their children. Northwest corner of Pershing and Maine.
Please make a turn into gate 5.
Pershing and Maine.
What I've got up, I've got a number of sources that we're going to be watching as we follow this story out of Kansas City, Missouri, unfolding. Union Station, which I believe is the end. Details are sketchy, folks. Excuse me. I don't have all kinds of great information. Maybe somebody in the chat room might have some information regarding how this was laid out at the a parade route there in Kansas City. But I believe it was Union Station is where the conclusion of the parade was. And there were 2 people. These are the early reports, and we always, like to point out that as we do these live streams, as they unfold, everything that I'm going to say now is just what's being said in the moment, and almost none of it is going to be true. So it's up to us to sort of cherry pick what we think sounds right. And right now, what we're hearing is number of people, 2 gunmen. They may have been shooting at each other. That's one of the theories that's out there, that 2 people had beef as they were all being herded into Union Station to get on their trains or whatever. I don't know how it works again. But 2 people had beef and they started fighting and pedestrians got involved or got injured. Then there's the other scenario. 2 people decided to do an attack. So we don't know. But let's listen for a little bit. This is a very chaotic scene happening on the scanners.
I'm not sure. Somebody just also gave us
Kansas City Police for listening to.
I understand that. I'm actually running the reunification site. This is the only one we have inside. So whoever said the other, we do not have one. I thought somebody said that might have been for witnesses to the offense.
West 1, staged at Kessler and Wyandotte.
Any officers that responded to the assist that were answering calls for service from their zones, they need to go back to their zones.
Tails entering the gate. You guys did great. Thank you for your help.
Okay, that's important. We've heard that a couple of times now.
Staged at Maine and Pershing.
123. The ambulance that was ordered for the female who was passed out from an anxiety attack at Pershing and Broadway, you can disregard that.
Okay, so what we're starting to hear now on the scanner that just a half hour ago was incredibly chaotic. The police, the very large police presence that was ordered to the scene of Union Station in the moments following this shooting, whatever occurred, they're all being pulled back now. So there is no manhunt. There is no, all of that. That leads me to believe a couple of things, that if they're all being pulled back and ordered back to their zones, to their regular jobs, the regular policing areas, if they're doing that, then that means they must not need them for things like searches. Whenever we believe that this is an attack from some nefarious whatever, some crazy political motivated thing, just crazy. We always are concerned about, well, now we got to check every garbage can in the arena. So it doesn't seem that is what the excess police response is being utilized for, which is a good sign, because what it tells me is that they might think they understand exactly what happened here and how, what might they think? Again, this is scenario 1. 2 dudes drinking heavy at the Chiefs game. Everybody's getting pushed into one area, funneled into their lines at Union Station, people pushing, shoving, all of that stuff. 2 dudes got beef, guns got fired, everybody panicked, everybody ran. That's what, at this early stage, all of the police being pulled back kind of says to me. I don't know. Let's watch some local coverage. This is this local? Is this the CBS affiliate? It is. Let's check out the local CBS affiliate down there in Kansas City.
Event is moments after the Kansas City Chiefs, we understand, wrapped their Super Bowl celebration in Kansas City. Police report that shots were fired nearby in apparently a parking garage, and that created what seemed to be just mass chaos among the thousands of people there. They took 2 people into custody who the police say were armed, but many other people they say were injured. Some people struck, and they're now trying to set up local police a child reunification area, suggesting that maybe some children have been separated from their parents in all of this panic.
Well, we certainly saw that there were children in the audience as we have been following the parade as a celebration earlier today, and seeing that confetti arrow that was still falling after.
Okay, so it seems like they've gone away from the local coverage. I always prefer the local coverage because, you know, it's boots on the ground. That's people there. Oh, wait, what's going on? Hold on. What are they showing us?
My special agent. She's also the vice president of operations with the private investigation.
All right, I hate this part. All right, this is where the national coverage, because they don't have people there on the ground overturning every rock and talking to a different person. They have to now fill their panel with, you know, national security experts where they can wax poetic about all the bullshit they've been waxing poetic about for about 20 something years now. So that's why I do not like the national coverage. Local coverage is always better. Let's go back to the scanner. Let's see what's happening over there, and then we'll find out what the absolute latest is. Oh my God, the scanner, you guys, the scanner is going absolutely nuts here. Once again, we are following a story out of Kansas City at the conclusion of the Chiefs game, or the Chiefs.
Thank you for that. We'll keep it for just a little bit longer, but I'll check on you.
For security, I heard one of them was wearing a white hat. Copy that. Valley Command, this is Rally Operations. This time we have 1 patient hypoglycemic from Patty's. Go ahead, 722. 6241 Command. Thank you.
Sarge, we're pushing over towards the western.
All right, here, this is out of Kansas City. Multiple people were shot following the Chiefs Super Bowl parade and rally Wednesday morning. This, according to the Kansas City Police Department. A Kansas City fire official said 8 to 10 people were injured after the shooting west of Union Station. Police said they took 2 armed suspects into custody for more information. A video stream provided by KSHB showed individuals running into Union Station and officers with their guns drawn. Okay, I haven't seen that video. I don't know if you've seen it anywhere. If anyone in the chat room knows where I can find that video, that'd be great. The police department urged individuals, you can send it to me, Pugs at Pugs & Co. on X. You can send it to my DM. The police department urged individuals to leave the area and avoid the Union Station parking garage. Police asked witnesses to the shoot. See, here's why this is wait, are we back? Are we back to some kind of local coverage here? Let's see. That's certainly a local shot.
See, you know, what they can find, what evidence is there of people.
All right, we can just leave that up for the picture. Here's what you got here. This is a celebratory event, and I suppose whenever these kinds of things occur, I'm reminded of the Highland Park, Illinois 4th of July parade from a couple of years ago. The sniper on the roof, remember that one? Or the was it Kenosha? Or was it Waukesha? I think it was Waukesha, Wisconsin. I'm sorry, I love Wisconsin. I get all their silly named towns confused. The Christmas parade, remember that was so those are fun family events. But the parade, the Chiefs parade, there's an added aspect, and that is that everybody's drunk. Everybody is wasted at this thing. This is like a party. This is a young person celebration. You go to these. My team won the world championship parades, and you got a bottle on you. So you're dealing with mass pandemonium. You're people running in every direction. The cops trying to control the scene. And oh yeah, bunch of kids, because a lot of the people who are drunk brought their kids because it's the Chiefs. It's that kind of thing. And everybody's half in the bag. So that's a spooky scene. Although it seems like there is no ongoing threat, which is also one of the things we always look for. Okay, is it over or is it still going on? Because we learned from the police scanner that they had pulled back all of the extra officers that had rushed to the scene before they knew what was going on. That suggests that they don't need any kind of widespread crowd control or, search of premises. So I don't know, all of the details that we are getting right now, and again, this is early. I say we don't know. 24 hours from now could be a completely different story. But all the details that we're getting right now from this shooting here that has occurred at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade suggested it's two dudes with beef. Which is, if you listen to my show Monday through Friday at 12 noon, and we talk about these kinds of things all the time, the High Noon Rant, like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. You know that when it comes to these events that I have these different compartments in my head. The first thing I think of is, okay, there's been a mass shooting. A bunch of people have been shot. What kind of shooting is it? Is this just, is this a dude who showed up at Chuck E. Cheese and he's angry at his ex-wife and her new boyfriend, and a whole bunch of people got, caught strays? That's one compartment. Why is that a compartment? Because that's specific. That guy went to that place specifically because of one person. The other category is, the guy that's an extremist. Someone, well, you know what? Let's forget about the motivation. The crazy person who just wants to go to Target and kill as many people as they can, right? That's a different compartment. Then there's the worker, there's the office, there's a bunch of different ones, but let's stay with those two, because those are what we're looking at here. Is this Kansas City Chiefs parade shooting going to be, what does it look like it's going to be? Is it going to turn out to be one of these two crazy guys, it seems like, with either a political agenda or they're just nuts, just randomly killing everybody? Why does that one concern me? That one concerns me because I could be at that one. I think that the chances are greater that someone I love or someone in my family, my neighbor, somebody I care about, or me myself, I think the chances are greater that I get killed going to a Dallas Cowboy championship. Well, if that's my criteria, I'll live forever. But you know what I'm saying? I'm probably not going to be killed going to a birthday party at a Chuck E. Cheese for some people. That's specific. That dude went, but the other one is random. So it looks like this one is more specific cause anyway, which is, I think, sounds like two dudes got beef. Two dudes had beef with each other. They both were armed. They're both drinking, both Chiefs fans. And now we have this. Let's check back in with CBS News. Let's see what they're saying.
I'm struck by your comments about parades are these vulnerable events, in part because of mass density. What we understand happened were that the celebration concluded, people were starting to leave, and then at that point is when the gunfire rang out. How would have things been different potentially if this had happened during the event? And is there a concern that after the event wrapped, the security became a little bit more lax, or are they really on high alert until every last person is cleared out of there?
Security officials are on heightened alert until the event itself has ended.
All right, April, one of our producers in the chat room every day, she does such a great job producing on the fly for us. She's found the video. Let's watch this. This comes to us from April. Apparently, this is the scene that was described as people running into Union Station with guns being chased by police. I don't know, whatever. I haven't seen it yet. Here it is. Let's check it out. Nope. Hold on. Sorry. Wrong one. Yep. There it is. Okay. I'm sorry. I should have warned you. I didn't get a chance to see this ahead of time, but there seems to be some gore here. I don't like to just throw that out there. Thank you again to April for providing it to me. But you know what? Let me okay, you know what? Warning. All right, it's a warning. There you go. So whatever this is, it might not be great. So I haven't seen this yet, so I'm going to watch it.
Oh my gosh, shot. Back up. Hey! Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up! Get out of here! Shot right there. Somebody's been shot. Okay.
That was a tough watch. I apologize. So now I believe even more that it was two guys with beef who just started shooting and not some crazy person trying to, take down the government or whatever it is. That's in compartment one, which means it's more of a not as random, not directed, not random, just two people who probably shouldn't have guns. Who had guns and they were drunk and they got mad at each other. That's where I'm going. That was here's why I think that now from watching the video even more, because there wasn't mass pandemonium. It's not like if somebody just started spraying, everybody would be I would think there were a lot of people who were just casually walking around like they didn't know what just happened. You know what I mean? If it was the crazy, and they say two people, so the first thing you think is two gunmen are and you think, well, they were working together. No, I don't think so. I think it's the two gunmen who were shooting each other. I think they're the ones that are caught. April says you shouldn't have guns while drinking. I think that's a good rule of thumb. I think, yeah. You shouldn't mix cars and guns either, or cars and alcohol either. You shouldn't mix. Let's see here. What else do we have? Again, we're covering here, or at least trying to cover in some small part, what's going on in Kansas City. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Thank you. April, I only saw the one video. Here, she sent the other one. This is the one that was being reported as police chasing people into the station with guns drawn. So let's watch this one again. Or not, let's watch this one for the first time and see what we can make from this situation. Excuse me. Is there anybody in this area that is injured, or are they running inside to where the injuries are? I'm trying to see these people here. They're all standing around. Nobody looks overly panicked. Guns are drawn. You got this guy. You got Fat Pat Mahomes. He's gonna lend his hand. Also, I'm hearing that the NFL Network was live on the air when this happened, that they left the set live on the air, or they cut the or something odd happened with the NFL Network. If anybody finds that video, I'll be looking for that as well. All right, that's it was described as them chasing somebody. I don't think I saw them chasing anybody. Let's see. Okay, what else do we have now? She sent one more video. Thank you to April again, who's doing a little bit of producing on the fly here. Okay, let's see. Let's try this one now. This appears to be. Oh, this is okay. So this is, we hear the shooting. This is where we got the shooting. Okay, so let's give this a listen. That was it. Did you hear it? Those were the guns. That's it. All right, let's listen to that again. Even less than the way I did it. Got headphones, you can probably hear that. 13 shots? More? Nobody's running, no mass panic, that's good.
Guys. Something's...
All right, now we're seeing the police from the other video that we watched, the police running in. We're just seeing it from a further off perspective. It's BBC News coverage. BBC's always there. The best.
Guys. Something's going on. Something's going on, guys.
All right, so he wasn't BBC. He was KCTV. I was gonna say he doesn't have an English accent. All right, so that's the any better video? Let me know. Let me know if you get more good video, April, or anybody else for that matter. Let's check in with the scanner. Let's see what they're doing. There we go.
Road, moment. All right, we're holding southbound Broadway. This is turning into a mess.
This is really operations.
Yeah, we're not even, well, I don't know. I don't believe close to moving just yet.
Yeah, 5150. The area is still not quite secure. We still have PD going around. We want to keep all DMATs still open at this time.
Yeah, I will.
Yes, we are keeping them for now.
I mean, guys, look, sure, I'm the guy who predicted that the Texas Rangers would win the World Series on opening day of last year and then said it all season long. You people don't understand. Yes, I did predict that the Dallas Cowboys were going to lose the game that they lost. So, yeah, a couple of predicting things. But I told you, I warned you during antecedently on this day. Every day at 12 p.m., I do a stream where I give you all the day's news. I told you, I said today is a day where historically there have been a lot of mass shootings. There have been a lot, not even mass shootings. I shouldn't say that. Massacres. Today is a day. Every day on the show at noon, I start off by going through a list of events that have shaped our understanding of what this day throughout history has been. We call it antecedently on this day. And today I said, folks, look, I'm not going to mention all of these, but you have to know that every couple of years since the dawn of time, there has been a massacre of human life on this day. Most recently, Marjory Stoneman Douglas. This is the anniversary of the Parkland shooting. What? That was the wrong button. Sorry, I was trying to. Marjory Stoneman Douglas, the Parkland shootings occurred on this day. A couple of years before that, the murder of 6 students at Northern Illinois University occurred on this day, I think in 2009. This is, of course, famously the anniversary of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. But then you start to go back through history and you start to see things like, well, this is the day that the Haitian genocide occurred in 1972. This is the day that all the Jews in the city of Cologne were burned at the stake. And this has been a gruesome day. This is yikes. And we got something up and then something happening on this day. Kansas City.
Do we have a mass arrest bus on site?
Mass arrest bus.
I believe it's at Pershing and
I'll coordinate with PD.
Maine.
Hey, Sarge, we've got some crews on Broadway now at Truman. Are you guys going to come up the southbound lanes, Broadway from Truman?
We are listening.
Yes, we're going to come into the opposing lanes of Broadway.
10:30 to CP.
We're listening to the Kansas City Regional Public Safety Channel. These are the people involved in what's happening at Union Station.
We could get on
in Kansas
around
City.
you, like immediately off the Gore Point.
Yeah, affirmative.
All right, you're gonna have to cut a parallel with just with that gravel so that we can get on with a bunch of buses.
We got me. Ma'am, you're doing great. I'm being told that by the doctor here at the medical tent that we have victims at St. Luke's on the Plaza, victims at TMC, victims at Children's Mercy, and victims at KU. If you could make a note of that, please. And a party that's been confirmed. That party's family is now on foot heading to their vehicle to go to Truman. So you might let the officers know that an adult Hispanic male and a young Hispanic female may be en route there.
All right.
305 to rally operations.
29.
All right. So they're back to being pretty active there on the scanners. Let's check back in with news coverage of this. This is, it was local CBS coverage in Kansas City, but I think they've gone over to national. Let's see what they've got going on.
What we know, Union Station is where all this celebration had happened. That's where the Kansas City Chiefs players were, of course, on stage. They were to actually exit, I believe, into Union Station once the celebration was over. So the hope is that we can figure out why so many police and military personnel converged into that area, if there was a potential threat possibly, or if they just wanted to make sure that players and coaches and everyone involved with the team was safe once the celebration was over.
Well, it really speaks to how fluid the situation still is. And I wonder if those people running along with the police dressed in red with Kansas City shirts might be plainclothes police officers.
Well, my question would be, was Taylor Swift there? She brings a big security detail of her own. Look, the question there that was just raised sort of correlates to another story that is happening nationally right now, and it's getting a lot of crossover buzz on the socials. There is absolutely no reason to think that these two fairly big stories that are happening right now are in any way related, but that was the reason for that guy asking that in that way. Well, it seems strange that there was so much security ready for this. Did they know something? Well, what he was doing was he was trying to feed that guy to talk about the other story, which is apparently there is a national security threat against the United States. I don't have all the details on this. I was actually just reading about it, but it was the House Intelligence Committee chairman made a statement saying that, look, this is serious, blah, blah, blah. And then the White House was forced to respond. So, and the White House responded by not saying that he's crazy or that there isn't a serious national security threat happening right now, involving Russia, by the way. The White House, who, if you want to play the partisan politics games, this was a Republican. This was a right wing. This was a Republican GOP chairman of the House Intelligence Committee who said this. So you might think that the White House, being the other party, they might send someone out to go, he's just trying to scare people. It's an election year. But they didn't do that. Josh Sherman came out from the White House at the podium and basically made it even scarier when he admitted that the Gang of Eight has been convened and have been briefed on this supposed serious, very serious security threat to the United States. Now, if you're reading more about this online, you'll hear everything from nukes, that there's a nuke in some American city. Not true, or at least not that I know, but this is the craziness that we see online, right? So it's got some people on edge because it involves Russia and the word nuke is being used, okay? A serious national security threat against the United States as revealed by the head of the House Intelligence Committee, and then codified by the White House itself when they announced that the Gang of Eight has been briefed on this very serious national security threat. So that's going on. So then at the same time that story is sort of breaking nationally, now we're all drawn away into this Kansas City shooting. So naturally people are going, is this the same? Is this I don't think so. Like I said, I think this Kansas City thing is more two dudes with beef. That's it. It's two dudes with beef. Hold on. I'm getting a lot of messages here. I'm a little bit distracted. Let's check back in with CBS coverage of what's going on there in Kansas City.
Personal dispute with fatal repercussions on individuals that had no actual tie to the incident. But the FBI, state and local terrorism officials are going to be trying to rule out any other motivation here at this time. And I would imagine that the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force will be consulted as appropriate to ensure that there is not a terrorism nexus. while these individuals are questioned, their social media is scrubbed as appropriate, and they are questioned to see if they actually have a tie to the crime. We have not heard directly yet from local law enforcement, so we don't really know if the individuals that were apprehended were in fact directly involved in the shooting itself, if they're ruled out as subjects or otherwise. It's just too soon to tell, and that's why right now local law enforcement at all levels is trying to secure this location and get medical help to those that may have been impacted. I would imagine that at the federal level right now, the Department of Homeland Security, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Department of Justice more generally are speaking with the White House, the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, an office that I work closely with, to really review what resources from across the federal government should be marshaled to send to Kansas City. There are a range of victim services that the federal government can.
All right, that's we're good there. She did say something interesting, though, which is why I hung with her for a little bit, because this is something that I struggle with these kinds of events. What is terrorism? Look, I was going to say, how are we defining terrorism? But quite frankly, we redefine things all the time. We call things, we make whatever. Nothing is real. I don't know how. Here's how I define terrorism. If something is that a terrorist event? I think terrorism is whenever somebody inflicts terror, scares the shit with potential great harm to a good number of people for a purpose. And, I know that, we like to now make that purpose, strictly ideological or political or something like that. But for whatever purpose, it doesn't matter. If your intent is to just screw and freak out a whole bunch of random people, terrorize them, then that's what I think terrorism is. I don't think this is terrorism. If it turns out to be two dudes who had a beef while waiting in line for the porta potties at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade, that ain't terrorism. Okay, so let's not marshal the terrorism forces and let's not get a whole bunch of people from Washington, D.C. involved. This was a crime, at least it appears to me. I don't know, still early, but this appears to have been a crime that could have happened anywhere else. If these two guys had bumped into each other in the parking lot of a Walmart, they might have drawn, right? But it just so happens that these two clowns, I believe so far with all the little information that we've got, I believe that this is two people, a personal beef, a shootout occurred, people got hurt. A lot of people were around, a lot of innocent got hurt. Okay. These people just so happened that this was, what do they call it? A perfect storm. This happened right, with a whole bunch of people. Instead of just being two drunks peeing against a wall behind a bar on a Saturday night, where it's just the two of them, you peed on my shoe, and then they're shooting at each other. No, these two idiots, they both decided to go to the Chiefs parade. And that's where they crossed paths. All right. I don't think we're going to do a whole bunch more. I think that's pretty much it. We're going to see the details as they unfold. There's no new details coming out. I'm looking at a press conference. I'm trying to see when this press conference is scheduled. I'll tell you, I'm more concerned about this national security threat. That's something that's got me a little bit spooked. This seems like crime. This seems like good old American crime. Mixing football, guns, beer, and fear. Man, those are the four table legs that make up the great American spirit. That's what that is right there. My alarms are blowing up. You hearing all these? Mr. Popular. All right. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you for being with me again. I know, I just finished my show. Check out the show. Like, follow, subscribe every day, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. The High Noon Rant. It's me. It's a stream of consciousness. No interruptions, no nothing. Just me talking about everything that's happening in the world. Hot topics, current events, whatever it is. The only thing we don't do is we don't get into politics. We don't talk about Biden. We don't talk about Trump. We don't talk about any of that nonsense. We try and find the common things that we're all interested in anyway that have absolutely nothing to do with our political ideology. So if you're down, join me every day at noon, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for the High Noon Rant here on the Radio Misfits podcast and live streaming network. I am Pugs Moran. Love you all so much. Bye.